Day 3 now of the big government shutdown, and it does not look like Congress is even close to fixing the problem. Last night, President Obama met with congressional leaders, but it did not lead to a solution to the budget or get anywhere close to it. Meanwhile, thousands of federal workers are still waiting for all of this so they can get back to work and, more importantly, get a paycheck again. Democrats say they will negotiate, but only if the House passes a budget with no strings attached.
The only thing that's stopping it is that John Boehner right now has not been willing to say no to a faction of the Republican Party that are willing to burn the House down because of an obsession over my health care initiative.
That faction is basically the Tea Party. House Republicans continue to pass individual bills to fund parts of the government, but Senate Democrats insist, no, that's not good enough. We're going to do nothing or all. 800,000 federal workers remain furloughed, including thousands here in New Mexico, and nobody knows at this point how long it'll be before they can go back to work. Well, New Mexico's Department of Workforce Solutions is slammed because of the federal government shutdown. Any furloughed federal worker, full or part-time, is now eligible to file for unemployment benefits. Workforce Solutions has seen a big spike in calls and questions about unemployment benefits from furloughed workers, and it says it'll be hard to get them checks. The reason? Well, many federal agencies are operating with bare bones during the shutdown, so verifying the wages could take weeks.
I can't sympathize with them enough. I think our entire country is a little bit concerned and frustrated and a little bit confused at what's going on in Congress right now. And absolutely, we want to be there for these individuals. We're just looking for a whole lot of guidance and answers out of Washington, D.C. at this point.
Selena Bussey there says the most someone can take home every week once benefit starts is $400. Well, the latest employment report by the payroll processor ADP is showing lackluster job growth. The firm says the U.S. added 166,000 private sector jobs in September, showing little improvement from July or August. The number is also slightly below economists' forecasts of 183,000 jobs. The national unemployment rate is sitting at 7.3% right now. New Mexico's is at 6.8%, which does not reflect the furloughs. Well, every time White Sands Missile Range opens up the Trinity site, thousands of people show up to see exactly where the world's first nuclear detonation took place. But last night on special assignment, our Matt Grubb showed us that government shutdown or not, the gates are going to be locked this Saturday. A federal funding cut last winter means White Sands had to cancel the event for just the second time in 50 years, which is very bad news for businesses that have built an industry around those tourists.
Socorro County prepares for this amount of people that's coming down.
They've been smart about it.
Very smart to capture all the revenue from it, and all of a sudden, boom, it dissipates, and you know, it's like that particular month's going to be pretty low on the income. Yeah, so it makes a difference.
If you want to see Matt's entire story, check it out tonight at 9 o'clock on Two Casa Flocks, or watch it anytime at our website, KRQE.com. Well, 534, as we've told you, all high school students in New Mexico have to take the Standards-Based Assessment Test, what they call the SBA, so they can graduate. But now one APS student must take the test all over again because somebody lost hers. Mayrose Heffler, right here, is a senior at Albuquerque High School. She took the SBAs back in April when she was a junior, as juniors do, but she was told just a few weeks ago the school never got her score. A spokesperson for the district told us there is a record of Miss Mayrose signing to hand in her test and a test administrator signing, yes, it was turned in. Now, what happened to the test after that? Well, it's anyone's guess. Heffler's mom says they were assured they had nothing to worry about now. Time is running out, though, and there are still no scores. Mayrose is told on Tuesday that she had to retake the SBAs so she could graduate.
I would like to see them just say, you know what? It's not your fault. We lost them. Something happened to them. We're going to give you a pass on this.
That would be nice. APS says the company that scores the SBAs is still searching for the test. If for some reason Mayrose fails the retake, the district says it'll apply for a waiver so she can still graduate on time. Unfortunately, the district and the state say there's really nothing they can do at this point. Well, New Mexico State University's efforts to get more students to go to football games has proven to be a big dud. The program, remember, it offered cash prizes to students who showed up and stayed through the entire game. Well, nobody won the grand prize of $2,000 and an all-important parking pass at the game on Saturday. It turns out the student whose name was called wasn't there. Matt Sajak here is an Iraq War veteran and a double amputee. He wasn't at the game because he was taking care of his grandmother because his dad recently passed away.
There's no way I'd have been able to make it to the game anyway. Again, I was taking care of my grandmother. She's 87.
Well, because he wasn't there, he doesn't get the $2,000, and neither does anyone else. Seems the school doesn't pick from a list of students who are actually attending the game, and while some people think Mr. Sajak should get the money, myself included, he's taking it all in stride. In case you're wondering, ESPN's new bottom 10 is out, and the 0-5 Aggies have landed in the 6th spot. UNM is in the dishonorable mention. By the way, Mr. Sajak, thank you for your service to the country. I still say he could get the $2,000. It'd be money well deserved there. All right, 5:36. Albuquerque's main jail is about to be in the spotlight on national TV. The MDC is going to be featured on the A&E series Beyond Scared Straight. But people in charge of the jail, well, they're not too thrilled about this. Watch.
Why are you crying? You're going to wind up in this room, get beat up. You don't have your brother's back. You're a liar. And you can't be trusted.
And you're a weenie.
I think the name of the show lives up to it. MDC is featured on tonight's episode, a show that features scared straight programs at jails all across the country. The show shows troubled kids getting an in-your-face lesson from inmates, as you just saw. But the MDC's leaders say Beyond Scared Straight doesn't fairly depict the program. In a statement, the MDC's chief, Ramon Rustin, says the show's editing focused on the sensational side of the teen court jail tours. As you know or may know, those jail tours came under fire last week when a father claimed his teen daughter was groped. So CYFD has now stopped referring kids to the program while that investigation continues. Well, jurors are expected to start deliberating today in the murder trial of the guy who escaped from a prison in Arizona and came here to New Mexico. John McCluskey is accused of killing this couple, Gary and Linda Haas, while he was on the run back in 2010. Earlier this week in closing arguments, prosecutors painted McCluskey as a cold-blooded killer. Yesterday, the defense wrapped up its closing argument, saying the case against him leaves a mountain of doubt.